I guess I was always kind of interested in rocks, and I mean, climbing's a great way to see really interesting places and new kinds of erosional processes, which I find really interesting. And I think climbing's a really fun way to see the world and to interact with it. Boulder Canyon is a climbing mecca, and climbers have been drawn to these cracks for years, and they've actually played an important role in the climbing history of North America. So traditionally, when an old school climber would walk up to a crack, he'd take one of these pitons and hammer it into the rock like this to protect himself in the event of a fall. But with the advent of modern camming devices, we can now place these removable pieces of protection in the rock, and the cams will expand in the event of a fall. So this is safer and a little better for the rock. You might assume that a crack like this is pretty static, it's an unchanging environment, but as climbers, we need to evaluate the risk for ourselves. So when you're climbing, you're going to encounter all kinds of different holds, and this is an example of a flake, which, as you can tell from sight, is partially detached here, but as you're going up, you might want to give it a smack, and you notice it sounds a little hollow when compared to solid rock right next to it. So it's just important to realize that the canyon's always changing, it's a dynamic environment, and that even though this route may have been climbed 100 times, rocks can always move, erosion's always taking place here, and you really need to be conscious of that. So if you spend enough time in the canyon, you'll notice that the canyon's always in motion. There's always a few new rocks on a ledge, maybe some rock fall at the side of the river, and even bigger slides. So this is an ongoing process that has been going on for hundreds of thousands of years and will continue to happen. It's important to always be conscious of that while climbing, especially.